Hey guys, welcome to another week in DSP. This is for the week of October the 8th. This starts on page 3,573 of the Kiwi Farms, and as of this recording, we've tipped over to 3,600 pages. So congratulations everyone on the collective effort on reporting and commenting on DSP. Now to start things off this week, I figured it'd be a good idea to go over what his streaming schedule was as he posted it. Now, he took Monday off, and the speculation on taking Monday off is that way he wouldn't be live for the sudden drop of 510 subs, which I'll talk about in just a minute. That way, his chat wouldn't be going nuts and be like, oh my god, Phil, the sky is falling, as he likes to say, running around like Chicken Little, or is it Stuart Little, whatever the analogy is. But Monday is his day off, which is different. Normally he takes Saturday off. I wonder why he's changed what day off he takes. Tuesday, we have WWE Premiere live stream, and then a sponsored stream or Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Spoiler alert, the sponsored stream was apparently Assassin's Creed Odyssey, but there's reason to believe that that was faked, and we'll get into the evidence on that later on. Wednesday, we have more WWE and Dragon Quest XI, then more Assassin's Creed, Fist of the North Star, and now he's doing a late night stream where he's going to play Black Ops 4, because that's when the game officially released, was midnight on October 12th. Now, he said Friday will be a mix of Black Ops and WWE, and he doesn't fill in his whole schedule on these posts, so we have to go to partway through the week for the Friday schedule, the Saturday schedule, and Sunday. He still takes Sunday off. So this guy's still taking a day and a half off every week, even though he needs that money. He really does. Speaking of money, where does Kat get her money from? Bruno Mattei suggested it was probably Walmart, and Slenderman leans towards this as well. A few days ago, someone brought up Amazon raising their minimum wage to $15 and asked Phil what he thought about it. He agreed that it was a good thing and immediately started speaking about Walmart needing to step up and follow suit. Now, if it is true that Kat works at Walmart and Phil is worried about her pay, then that would mean that they have a joint account or she is contributing something to the household income, which goes against my theory of Kat being a gold digger. She's just using Phil for free rent while she collects 100% of her paycheck and doesn't have to put it towards any responsibilities. Actually follows up with this, saying that there's a Walmart Supercenter 10 minutes from Phil's place. That's pretty close. If I was going to want to commute to a place of work, 10 minutes is a pretty short, pretty nice commute. And we know how lazy Phil is. There is a possibility Kat is just as lazy and that she applied at the first place she saw. And because Walmart has incredibly high turnover, it was pretty easy for her to pick up the job. This is a post talking about Phil abusing the tax system. The cat is now gone. Quoted saying, watching Phil has really changed my perspective on the dreaded tax man in the United States. I used to think you'd get ass fucked if you ever did the slightest thing wrong. Now I see you can basically fuck around all you want so long as they don't audit you. And this is in reply to Sparklator, who was replying to the Bone Sauce. Bone Sauce, TLDR, was basically saying, can Phil get physical copies of games right off that cost and then sell them and or trade them in? And Sparklator was saying he doesn't buy physical copies, it's all digital, and his Patreon playthroughs need to be digital copies of games. And then they also confirmed that he was probably writing off games and selling them in previous years, which is okay if he says that the money he got from selling them, say I bought a game for $60, I play it, and then I turn around and sell it for $12 or whatever GameStop's trade-in value is, I need to report that $12 as earned income for my taxes. But Phil was stating in other videos where he would fly to Japan to play Street Fighter in tournaments and write that off as a business expense. He wanted to. He didn't actually do that. But anything job-related was a write-off according to Phil. We also know Phil did take and sell the actual discs and keep the game cases and try to give away the game cases as some charitable streamer. Like, oh, come watch me and you'll get a $50 game case with my business card in it and my signature, because this guy has a massive fucking ego. I don't know why I included this. It was an interesting bit of lore posted by Haunter. This is going back through the Liana archives. Also ties into the Brightside Viking archives. I did not ask Brightside Viking about this, but apparently this was someone who was being friendly to Phil about a year ago, almost 3 days after the Leanna breakup, and then recently is coming out and just railing against Phil. And Brian Dunn, the exceptional detective, the king of pole, said that this is a sock account for Brightside Viking. And in the Brightside Viking thread, Point even said the name Chimichanga, which is the username for this Twitter account. I just thought it was informative and interesting. I don't know the full beef between Brian Dunn and Brightside Viking, but Brightside Viking has been way nicer than King of Pole has been on stream and off stream. So I'm maybe falling for a ploy, or maybe Brightside is actually telling the truth in these things. I haven't asked him about this. He's free to fill me in on anything about Josephine Thompson. I don't care if it's a sock account, but it was just an interesting bit that she even had private DMs with Phil. And then the big news of Monday was the 510 sub drop as posted by Schick. He said the Cappy is at 650. Now this link updates every time I click on it. So I'm going to show you, because I'm a week late in these videos, I have to let the week end before I can report on what happened in the week. This will show you what Phil's actual sub is now. 625. So even in the last 7 days, he's lost another 25 subs. And I know that King Tut gifted 775 subs, and 510 of them were on September the 5th, which is why October 8th, 1 month and a 3-day grace period, is when they all fall off. So we're going to see this 625 number fall by another 265 minus 55 resubs. So we'll see this fall by another 210 subs. So Phil will be just over 400 subs if everything else stays the same, if everyone else resubs as normal or subs as normal. But we will talk about Phil's declining viewership a little later on, and it is possible that we may see him below 400. Tuesday, October 9th, we're going to look at Phil's average viewership for the month. This is from actually on Kiwi Farms, linking to twitchstats.net. Now, this is just his viewership for the month of October so far. We're, of course, halfway through October. But if we grab this data point here and we scroll all the way back to the beginning of the year, Phil averaged January at 521 viewers per stream. Then just under 500 in February, 428, and he plateaued about 400 during the spring, and now he's dropped at 400 at the start of summer, or midsummer. And look at this, just like 350 and then 325 again. So I wouldn't be surprised when November rolls around, we see him drop, and he's only averaging about 300 views a stream. But this is just a clear-cut example to show that Phil's viewership is in free fall. His YouTube has been up on the subs, but he says the ad revenue hasn't been as good. But by seeing his viewership falling on Twitch is very important. The other thing I was looking up too was if you look at Phil's Twinge numbers and let's say the last 3 months, that his average viewership has obviously been decreasing, but he's been gaining followers, likely to be sock accounts. But he also captures about 3,000, not captures, but he gets 3,000 unique viewers a day. This is a very interesting number here. This means that there's 3,000 Twitch viewers that see Phil. And he's up the last 3 months. He's actually gained almost 300,000 new views. But he isn't capturing any of these people. They aren't returning. They aren't sticking through for the streams. And like 1% of them, 1.1% of them are signing up, are following the channel. It gets worse when you spread it out across even the last year. You know, you see that he's gained followers steadily. I don't know why there's this weird jump and then a sudden dip, but he's also been gaining viewership steadily as well. But he can't seem to keep his viewers. Over the last year period, he's down about 25% his average viewership from 425 to 325. And it's still trending downwards as we see here too. So Phil's Twitch is dying. The only thing that's keeping him alive is a handful of people. I want to say 6 people 2 months ago were represented 40 or 50% of his entire income. 6 people is keeping this NEET, this overweight, middle-aged NEET alive. 6 people. Getting back to the streaming, so talking about WWE, what's from The Cat Is Now Gone Again. What's funny is, for as passionate as he is, he has no clue about wrestling in any depth. The quote I just pulled from Dragon Killer's Twitter is pretty rich. Ricky Morton, who the fuck is that? I'm a lifelong wrestling fan and never heard of him. Oh, Rock and Roll Express. Why would they put him in the fucking game? Nobody knows who he fucking is. To give background for people who don't know WWE history at all, the Rock and Roll Express were a huge tag team that changed the face of wrestling and are notorious even to a new fag to wrestling like me. As usual, Phil doesn't know shit, just twice as funny when it's something he's passionate about. The other thing that's interesting here, I don't know if I captured the quote here too. Oh, here it is. Follow-up from Actually. It's so goddamn funny to watch him fail at exactly the same point he failed in the previous WWE game. Like a significant chunk of the mechanics are exactly the same, and he can't beat the game on the default difficulty. And then the sponsored stream was Assassin's Creed 2. Not Assassin's Creed 2. I saw the part 2 for sponsored stream part 2. Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Now what's interesting here is if you go to the Twitch broadcast, you can look at the games that he played. Hang on. There is a specific... This is what I'm looking for. So if we scroll it back to that Tuesday, he started and waited 30 minutes. He's in talk show because he doesn't want people to know what game he is. As soon as he hits 300, he cuts the stream and starts again. He's like, oh, look, we're playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Isn't it amazing that the sponsored stream is exactly the game I wanted to play? And of course, he kills the stream and restarts the stream. But when people see a Twitch TV go to the blank screen and the stream is now offline, people click off of it. So he immediately lost 10% of his viewership and he never hit back to that 300 number. For whatever reason, he felt like he needed 300. And he played for exactly 2 hours. So I don't know if he was following the formula and some of the stipulations of the sponsored stream to pretend like he's a big name streamer to try to get some, I don't know, clout with his viewership again, or if he actually did get a sponsored stream. Wednesday, October the 10th. Phil Gotcha, only 4 hours of gameplay in the first stream. From Pixio Rochator, who's Call Me Beggar on Twitter, Ascalon mentions new Spider-Man DLC is 4 hours long, so 2 whole streams. That's good. That's 2 whole day streams, by the way. So if 8 hours equals 2 whole streams, is this an accidental acknowledgement from Phil that his first stream is only 4 hours of gameplay by his own design because he has an hour and a half pre-stream with a 30-minute break? He says that's a 6-hour stream, that he streams 10 to 12 hours a day. Well, when you're spending an hour and a half of it with a fucking slideshow playing while you're doing your blog shit, and then 30 minutes pooping on the company's time, it doesn't really amount to 12 hours a day. From Nothing I Can Do, who's always great at posting these memes. Well, this certainly partially explained why DSP is doing so poorly at driving and shooter games. Mr. Huff tweeted a quote from Phil, which is an old tweet from 2014. Back from the eye exam, getting glasses in a week, I will never wear outside of my driving test in Washington. So as someone who wears glasses, I have a restriction on my driver's license that I have to be wearing some corrective lenses, either contacts or glasses, when driving. Phil, if he needed it for his driving test, likely has a similar restriction listed on his driving license. And if he just chooses never to wear them because reasons, we know Phil's all about the appearance. I was talking about this in another Kiwi Farms thread. He probably still wants to have this macho appearance, and he thinks glasses makes him look nerdy or weak. DSP at his most asshole-ish. I have bad eyesight to the point where I'm supposed to wear glasses to not be a danger to myself and others behind the wheel, but fuck you, I'm not going to wear them, or something, however this ends off with. And then I just love Phil with the glasses, pig nose, roach body. That's a terrible rating. I'll say I like it. And this goes on for a little bit more, where things seem to pop out of nowhere and Phil crashes into them, or he gets shot by things that he can't see. He doesn't react to things on the screen in time. If I didn't have my glasses on right now, the letters on the screen would be blurs to me. I could not play Call of Duty Blackout mode because I would not be able to tell the fucking falling leaf effects from actual people on the screen. That's just my personal eyesight. Phil, I'm assuming, is nearsighted like I am, if he needs to have glasses for driving. And he probably wouldn't be able to read street signs. He probably wouldn't be able to see people on the road. His night vision's probably shit too, just like mine is. And he's sitting on this couch that's on the opposite side of his office, quote unquote. Even that distance is probably putting unnecessary strain on his eyes, or even like his gameplay could be improved. You'll see this in the Blackout restream from Tevin, where Phil picks up a gun and he has to lean forward in his love seat to read the name of the gun off of the screen because his eyesight is that bad. And to read the ammo types too. He leans forward. He's like, oh, what's this? The ICR, and this needs what, 776 ammo? Okay. But he leans out of the camera to do it. From Nothing I Can Do, again, getting back on topic, Phil kept losing because he didn't know how to do a specific move, because he skipped the tutorial, and instead of going to the command list in the start screen, he pauses the game and says, I'm going to stop here until someone tells me how to do that move in chat. And there it is, right thumbstick, left or right. But he could easily go and look in the controls. He could even fucking pull up his phone and look at it on his phone. But for whatever reason, this time around, he decided, you know what, I'm going to sit here and wait for chat to tell me how to do it, because I don't even want to do that research. And even then, he's still lost. Fuck this game, so stupid. He can always reverse me, but whenever I reverse him, I can't. I kept pressing button, but nothing happened. Nothing I can do. Nothing I can do. We talked about this earlier, but it was blatant him stalling for damn near 30 minutes till he hit 300 viewers. He's shilling for Ubisoft. He actually banned someone manually in front of Twitch talent scouts for asking a question about Wings of Redemption. Swaggins was such a pussy that he kept cheering questions and terrible jokes. At one point, it was 7 or so mods chatting and nobody else. Sounds like a great stream, where only the people who send money and the people who have modship get to talk directly at DSP. I very rarely pop my head into the streams, but did it last year when he played WWE and again today. I'm always intrigued to see what a guy who loves video games and loves wrestling does when he combines his two loves. He got his shit pushed in and kept trying to rematch because he didn't bother to learn the tutorials. On his 5th or 6th attempt, he did the one move he couldn't do, then immediately got beaten by John Cena. At one point, he screamed, I'm literally pressing the button it says on the screen, R1 and triangle, it's not working. On the screen, it said press R1 and X. Maybe put your glasses on, Phil. The highlight of it was him blaming the game because I was trying to do my move and he did his instead. You know, like what would happen in a fight. He literally wants the game where you do an input, it appears on the screen unhindered, and then you do another input ad nauseum. So like quick time events, right? Or a data entry job. This is from Piece of Shit, who posted it on his Twitter and just copied his tweet into the Kiwi Farms. But look at this.
Heavyweight.
Can you guys see that? What is he doing? Why is he jiggling his chest?
208. That's what I'm going to go with. 208.
Are his legs bouncing? Is this his restless leg syndrome?
What is this?
Can I get this any closer?
As we know, I'm a roided Adonis like this. That's what my body looks like in real life. So you guys never seen it.
Yeah, that's what your body looks like in real life as you're jiggling your man tits. This is Dragon Killer, who not only tweets Phil's direct quotes from the stream, but also retweets some of Phil's tweets and also adds in some of his own commentary, like in this point. Funny how the ELO Hell stream took weeks to months for confirmation, and then his Assassin's Creed Odyssey stream was immediate confirmation that he got paid the money. So this is what I'm talking about, where things don't look right. This is from another Twitter account, Tracer. Since he already owned the game, at least he gave away a copy to a viewer, right? Or did he forget? And this is from the Twitch Bounty Board's FAQ. I already own the game for a bounty I activated. Do I need to wait to receive the game key to start the bounty? No. If you already own the game, start the bounty as soon as you activate it. You will receive a valid game key via email, which you can give away to your community. So if this was a real sponsored stream, he got a free copy of Assassin's Creed Odyssey that he could give away. But he didn't. So is it a real sponsored stream? Did he forget? Is he keeping the code for himself? Did he give the code to Kat? That's another possibility I didn't think of till just this moment, because he did tweet recently about Kat playing and she picked the male avatar, whereas Phil's playing as the female avatar. And this is from Killichronic. More evidence that Phil's sponsorship was fake. The ads are placed on the uploaded YouTube vids of said sponsored stream. So number one, he has to keep the sponsored stream on his Twitch archives, on his Twitch VODs. I don't remember if he deleted the VODs or not. But the reason why he did that is he said he can't upload them to YouTube, because that's part of the Twitch partnership rules, is that he can't also make YouTube money on his Twitch job. It's the same reason why he can't stream on YouTube and Twitch concurrently. He has a partnership which makes him exclusive to one platform. Even though when he got temporarily banned off of Twitch, he did go and start a Super Chat enabled live stream on YouTube and got at least one Super Chat. So I guess the rules just don't fucking apply to Phil at all. Maybe he's either flaunting the rules, obviously, or it's a fake sponsored stream. Here's something great. Phil talking about is out his ass. Sub count was 635, but I can tell you that it's fallen another 10 since then. Monica, I'll be tuning in tonight for Dragon Quest. In career mode, can you play as a female wrestler if you wanted to? Great question. I didn't try it. Yada, yada, yada. Talking out my ass. I don't know what there is. I've seen such a huge rise in emphasis on female wrestling. And then Master Saru Watari, who has a fucking fetish for female wrestling and females getting fucking beat up. Go check out this fucker's Twitter. I had to block this guy because I follow Phil just to keep, a finger on the pulse on the news, and I would see this guy's shit post up, and I just can't look at him having pictures of women getting fucking beat up. Okay, cool, then maybe I'll pick it up. Thank you. So of course this guy knows all about female wrestling in WWE, is what I'm saying. I mean, go look at this guy's Twitter page. As far as I know, he hasn't protected it yet. I'm not saying harass the guy. I'm saying just go, click on it, scroll through, see what you think. See if this is a normal level-headed human being who's into fucking Goro Riona being the Japanese fetish, sub-fetish of women getting the shit kicked out of them. Women getting sexually submissive, slammed, or whatever. I'm fucking autism levels. Him and Sidella and Phil himself have this weird trifecta of sexualizing violence against women, and it makes me uncomfortable. Of course this guy fucking knows about fucking female wrestling in WWE. And the other point I want to point out here too is Phil, instead of saying, oh, I don't know, let me look it up for you, or I'm not sure, yada yada yada, he says, I hope there is, because there's been a huge rise in emphasis on female wrestling, yada 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 yada. Some PR fake side Phil bullshit. From Actually Again, quoting Haunter, but this isn't the thing I'm fucking closing in on. Anonymity in chat said, I'm glad Nick Miller and Shane Thorne donated WWE 2K19 this year. Okay, for real though, I see you guys tomorrow. Been loving Phil's WWE gameplay. And then back in July, someone said you'd play WWE 2K19 if someone donated it. I'd be happy to oblige again. Probably waited for confirmation. There's a guy in WWE who's a fan, Nick Miller. Or was it Shane Thorne? One of them. Yeah, and he streamed an hour later tonight too. But it's very interesting that it's most likely Anana Bunny who donated the money, because Anana Bunny also has enough clout with Phil to say, hey, I gave you $60 to play WWE 2K19. You confirmed it on July 11th. And then when I anonymously donated the money, you said that's going straight to my bills. So he probably did say something to Phil behind the scenes. From the Bone Sauce. If he doesn't want the Detractor speculating about his relationship with Kat, he is sure doing a really bad job of hiding it. Extended streams that he never did 2 months ago, midnight release streams that he hasn't done for 2 years, and no real solid responses on Kat showing up for Halloween, Christmas, or Thanksgiving, keep in mind. So this is very interesting. And this is why I titled last week, The Cat Is Now Gone. Because Phil changed his schedule radically, is streaming later, an hour later in some nights, and is doing 3 streams on... He did 3 streams the last 2 Thursdays in a row. And this is from David Davidson. He ended his stream half an hour early on October the 10th. That was his day stream, though. His night stream, I think he still streamed an hour later. But very interesting that he would decide to end the stream a half an hour early. Thursday, October 11th. We have Phil not understanding game mechanics. What a shocker. Phil has died twice to a boss he pretty clearly is not at the right level for. The boss's triple attacks are destroying him. The game is now fucking stupid and garbage. And chatter Hitachi Sensei is feeding Phil info straight from a guide. Shout out to the dumbass troll who tipped Phil $5. Good job giving Phil $5, stupid. Also, right underneath that post from the Bone Sauce, Douche Kid, King of Hypocrisy, The Honest Troll, and whoever tips in cheers to get Phil riled up. You are immense faggots in supporting Phil no matter how small the amount. Phil doesn't deserve a fraction of a penny from me, and I'll be goddamned if I give him anything of monetary value. And I want to take the point out here. I have reiterated this time and time and time again. Please do not troll cheer Phil. If you are a legit fan of Phil, you were fine to spend your money on Phil, and that is A-okay in my book. But most of the people watching this video, I want to say, are not fans of Phil. You are not going to bait him into saying the N-word on stream or something like that to get him banned off of Twitch. That is 20 rainbows of optimism right there. It is never going to happen. In fact, and I've said this before, at least starting a month ago, Phil has really... I don't want to say grown a thick skin, but he's started to gain a defense against the troll cheering to the point where all you get is, oh, someone sent me a troll cheer and I'm not going to say anything else. He doesn't read the message out loud. You don't get any feedback or anything. At most, you might get another chatter banned because they're going to ask, oh, well, what did the message say? And that might be construed as stirring up drama. But you're not going to get Phil banned. You're not going to get Phil suspended. All you're doing is supporting his lifestyle. I would much rather... Here's the other thing, too. Phil sometimes doesn't... Since he doesn't even read the troll messages, you do nothing. You do not impact his day. You don't make it any better. Actually, you don't make it any worse. You probably made it better. He's like, oh, I got $1. Phil goes nuts for that kind of shit. But if you took that $1, took that 100 bits, and go to any other Twitch affiliate, Twitch partner, and send them 100 bits, they would lose their absolute shit. They love that in a positive way, not in a, oh, I'm sitting here begging for fucking money every fucking day like Phil is. I mean, like I did this to Keegan, who's a League of Legends player. He's the #1 Pantheon North America. I gave him just 25 bits and it made his fucking night because no one else had given him any bits so far for playing. Just saying. You can go out there and really make someone's day and have a positive impact on the fucking world by throwing your 25 bits at a couple other channels. You throw your 25 bits at Phil, all you do is get a sock account banned and you float Phil for another month. I titled this Something's Up from Actually. Phil can't do math at all, but he streamed for a full extra hour and a half tonight, more or less, including wasting some time traveling after beating the dragon boss that pushed his shit in. He's doing another third stream tomorrow. That's Friday. He could have gotten off, goat laugh, at his normal 9 o'clock, having lost to the boss, but he continued on with it. Something's up. Why did he stream for almost 2 hours extra in the night? Was Kat home? Has she not come home yet? Or is she not around anymore? This has nothing to do with Darkside Phil, but I can see Phil getting to this level. This is from Dragoonism, who I think he follows LTG more closely than he does DSP. But he demanded a $1,000 donation to his PayPal in order to play Street Fighter V on stream. Phil earlier paused his game and said, I'm not going forward till someone in chat tells me how to do this. So Phil is on this path of just holding his stream hostage until he gets what he wants before he continues putting on a quote-unquote entertaining stream. I don't know if it was Tut who gave the $1,000, but this is an ultimate level of begging. At least LTG has some skill at Street Fighter V. I don't know. I can't say that Phil does at all anymore. And at least this guy clearly works out too. So there's some advantages of LTG over DSP. But this guy is way more toxic than DSP. Now this was an interesting post from Caustic Minori that made me think, what is Tut's endgame? Tut is really good at making streamers react to him, it seems. Phil's chat loved him until he stopped giving, and LTG is punishing his chat until they match Tut as King Cuck. So LTG expects now to get hundreds of thousands of dollars of donations because Tut did it a couple of times. Now that is the norm. And that was my theory with Tut and Phil, was to artificially inflate Phil's numbers and then pull the rug out from underneath him. So Phil is like, oh my God, I have an extra $2,000 a month now. I can spend an extra $2,000 a month on my mobile games or on Cat or on going out to eat or whatever he does with his fucking money. I don't even know at this point anymore. But then Tut pulls the rug out from underneath him, and then they're like, oh, well, who's going to make up this gap in my income now? Because they adjusted for gaining income, but they never adjust for less. They always only adjust for more and expect that once they've established the more, that you keep giving them the more. From Noob, lads, I think it might be time to revive hashtag Where's Cat, because Phil's back to eating frozen turkey burgers. Yeah, everything's going fine there, I'm sure. Haven't seen her in a long while. No pictures, no random Q&A. Perhaps she finally moved on to greener pastures. Is to graze upon? I don't know if horses graze. Soulmaid devolved into roommate. Even if she's not gone, it's hilarious she went from soulmate to roommate so fast. Phil flew this bitch halfway across the country, bought her clothes, a new phone, lets her use his car, doesn't make her pay bills, and probably spoils her on their nights out with dinner reservations and staycations and shit. And here she won't even make him dinner anymore. How long? She's only been around 10 months at most? At most. Maybe a little bit before that. I think Phil was hinting at her at Christmas of last year. So maybe 1 year together. Not even 1 year together. And she's already reeled back the, oh, I'm going to clean, I'm going to cook kind of thing. From Not Quite a Person, Valedictorian just spent about half an hour fucking around with every little detail and appearance of his gay-ass wrestling character, got everything just the way he wanted, wasting everyone's time, being boring, then exited without saving. And if you guys have ever watched his fucking Dark Souls playthrough, his first Dark Souls 3, This Is How You Don't Play, Outsider had to fast forward 30 minutes of Phil in the menu creation for his fucking character, and he's just spouting off gibberish the whole time, and it's like, dude, just get to the fucking game. You know what I did when I wanted to stream Dark Souls 3? I made the character and then saved it as a favorite, and then when I turned on the stream, I just hit load favorite, save, go, right into the action. How fucking boring would it have been to sit there and just be like, oh, let me scroll this guy's eyes out. Oh, let me look how big I can make his chin, guys. No one wants to see that. They want to see the actual fucking game. The only people who care about character creation like this are people chicks who like dig The Sims and want to like mess with every character proportion. And I'm not saying that to be sexist. It's anecdotal evidence, but every female I've seen that plays games does spend like 4 fucking hours on the character creation. I guess some guys do it too, but I've only really seen it in females. Nothing I can do. Update on stream. Even with the teammates on an unfair 2-versus-1 match, Phil's own character gets knocked out of the ring by Johnny Gargano. I don't know who that is. Phil, then waving his noodle arm, as you can see here, said, "There's nothing I can do." It's down to 622 here. So it's one shitty $20 skeleton, the extent of decorations for the pig pen. Yeah, he gets $2,000 in subs, and he gets a $20 skeleton. The $20 skeleton is bone meal. This comment matters. That was the one I just read off from Kebab for You. Yeah, he took an entire day off to drive to a store and bought that shit. He could have ordered it online and saved the gas. I also like this from Worst Brat. I'll go over it real quick. There's Phil's character knocked out, and then you know what that is. From King Jad VCMP. Honestly, Phil is deliberately baiting people to respond to his hypocrisy at this point. No worth rising to it. There's no evidence that I'm a racist or homophobe. None. From Dragon Killer. And that's probably a quote directly from the stream. Also, more, this is from Surly Muppet. King Kazatov is back in the chat, and Phil noticed. He commented that King Kaz was permabanned, and he didn't let him back in. So that means someone is about to get demodded. And it's possible that the mod who unmodded or unbanned him was Anana Bunny again. Some high quality, reliable mods there. I suppose the consequences of allowing them to pay their way into the position is that they feel entitled. Phil? Better launch a purge. He also shut down the stream 25 minutes early. That was the tweet I posted earlier. This is from David Davidson. Times out someone for cheering long messages. It's against the rules to post giant messages. Guess that's a new one. He's never timed out Swaggins for posting paragraphs before. All he said before is keep the messages shorter. Now, what I find interesting about this is he won't read a long message. Now he's going to make it a rule that you can't send long message. My theory is he wants you to break your message up into 3 or 4 smaller cheers or smaller messages, each sent with a 25-bit cheer on top of it. This is from Dragon Killer. It's going to be disheartening if people don't show up. I'll be honest, last week was weird. More people showed up for Forza than Assassin's Creed. So sad, TBH. That's Phil's number, because that's the Twitch number. And then Almighty Tevin, over 1,000 people watching. Easily 3 times Phil's numbers. Almost 4 times. So sad. So it's not... It's clearly not the game, because Tevin can take Phil's actual stream and transform it into something else. Partly because he adds more commentary, partly because he has a soundboard that's actually funny, not something cheap that he bought at a kid's store and he plays into the microphone so it sounds distorted and compressed, but an actual soundboard where he can press a key and a clip plays. And then he actually has an overlay, and he has chat overlaid too. And he has splash messages that get read out by a text-to-speech that also have a sound effect and GIF that come with it too. I mean, a lot of stuff that is pretty standard nowadays for a stream. Apparently, he stole the hate part of the King of Hate. This is quoted from Agent Smith. This is from an old post on, this was the Shore Yukon forums. I've been called fat, ignorant, stupid scrub, loud, obnoxious, disrespectful, belligerent, inciting troll, asshole, worthless. Yep, that sounds about right. But I've also been called entertaining by 60 million people. You be the judge. He thinks each view on his YouTube channel is an individual person. Not that, oh, I watched part 1 and part 2 and that gives him 2 views for the entire channel, 1 view per video. Ridiculous. What's interesting here too is that at this point, he had already been banned. He used the King of Hate HD, this name, to ban Evade as a sock account to talk shit on a forum that wanted him gone. Oh, the irony. He took the hate moniker from the fighting game community team he was on. This post was from Nager that had the info. One thing that Team Hate is not is a business where every member represents the entire organization, like that other team we know about. I really don't know the full story of what happened with Team Hate trying to get to NEC, and at this point don't want to know. The date of that link is wrong. It's more like 2005. DSP was part of Team Hate and simply took the Hate part and used it to make the King of Hate name. He didn't invent it or anything like he has claimed. Anyone that uses "if you've got haters, you're doing something right" is an ass. It's even common to falsely attribute that nonsense to Winston Churchill is to support such a flimsy slogan. Great meme format. I'm sorry, this shit had me dead. 10 out of 10. I've seen a couple other one of these where they replaced the photo with something else. But we do know Phil has told people behind the scenes, hey, if you can flag and report and take down these slanderous channels, please do. I wouldn't be surprised if he had the same thing against Tevin. I mean, Tevin did get banned from Twitch. So what the hell is on his shelf there? But yeah, you guys can... hopefully it's okay that we use Mr. Piggy Oink Oink Oink's gold dust here, and we change the meme by replacing this picture here. And I'm not saying that just as a dig to Secret Life of DSP. Other people have been upset by their DSP memes being taken and used and transformed without proper credit. So, big donation incoming. Oh my God. New King Tut from Mr. Piggy Oink Oink Oink. Clout God in Dave's chat talking about giving him a big anonymous donation next week when he gets paid. And then asks Swaggins if he's been to this cool guy Wings of Redemption string LMAO. We're going to hear a little bit more about Clout God today. This is from actually. Phil's mic drivers die because he's still using Windows 8, not even Windows 8.1. And he won't upgrade to 10, which while has issues, is legitimately much better OS. And I gotta say, I'm glad I bought the bullet and did finally upgrade to 10. It has been running more smoothly. It just took some getting used to. He's having to restart his computer and is saying he can't connect to a server on whichever console he's using. All with 150 people in his chat. Meanwhile, the big streamers are already playing on PC and having no issues. Hey, when you keep your shit up to date and you update your technology and you test things before you turn on the camera, turns out things go a little bit better for you. King Kaz unbanned by Nana Bunny, posted by Surly Muppet. Tevin added to the Kaz incident earlier today. It's looking like Anana Bunny was the one who banned him. Anani recently returned after an absence and then typed in the chat, unban King Kazatov, but forgot the slash to make it. Regardless, there's no way Dave could not piece together it was Anana, but he won't have the balls to follow through on the demodding. Because Anana Bunny, before Tut, was someone who had gifted, I want to say like 80, maybe 100 subs before, and then King Tut just showed up and blew him out of the water. Maybe with King Tut leaving is what brought Anana Bunny back and said, you know what? I can take over this channel now. I can fill in that power vacuum. I talked about it last week, that there was a power vacuum left after Tut disappeared. I titled this one Backseat Modding. It's Clout God arguing with Majin Buu. I don't know who's highlighted here. It's got to be Raven's Child's sock account, and he's trying to hide his power level. That's fine. I'm not going to dig into it. But Clout God says something. Majin Buu makes fun of Clout God, and then immediately Clout God is tweeting at Popsicolo saying so-and-so is disrupting the chat. Oh, it wasn't saying that Majin Buu is disrupting the chat. So whoever the deleted name is disrupting chat. So Clout God likes the backseat mod, which gets you banned from Phil's chat, or at least a comment from Phil that says, don't bring the drama here, the mods will take care of it. He just refused to address a question about girl advice because it wasn't the time, because he was in top 10. This is 15 minutes after demanding interaction. 5 minutes after making a comment that he'd try something stupid because fuck it, it's launch night anyways. I wonder if there's some underlying reason why that topic in particular is suddenly inappropriate. Yeah, Phil did yell at his chat for not talking to him. And then when people talk to him, he says, oh no, I'm not going to talk about it. So Clout God was in chat earlier saying a bunch of weird incel stuff. Like, why do all the hot or even average girls act like I don't even exist? I hate this world. I really do. With Dave's chat, you never know if this is sincere or not. Like I said, Phil doesn't want to be single in front of a chat full of incels for some fucking reason. Checking phone on stream again. He was about 2 minutes on Fist of the North Star where he said he got a very confusing email. I even found, or Haunter found the clip. I didn't. Haunter did. It's on the loading screen. Phil not looking at chat, not looking at the game. You can see his phone right here in the... Just look at this. Throat clear.
Okay.
1.5 times. Okay. Still on his fucking phone. Still on his phone.
Hold on a second. I just got an email. I'm trying to figure this out here.
Checking my email right now in the middle of the stream. Trying to figure this out. Another throat clear. And 1 minute's gone by now. So in 1 minute, he's cleared his throat twice and said, I'm checking something out on my email. Kenshiro, do
I got a
something.
very confusing email. It's annoying me.
Head check. I got a very confusing email. Minute and a half now. Throat clear. 3 throat clears.
All right, whatever. Stupid.
Look, hey, uploaded to fucking YouTube, and he couldn't fucking go in here and go clip, cut, ripple, delete, go. Also, Phil was offered $1,000, who know of real, if he won and got taken out at number 2. Naturally, it was complete fucking bullshit, and the guy shouldn't have won because it was a bad connection. This just reminds me of that time where Phil was playing PUBG. I made a video about it, and King Swaggins at the time, he's now upgraded to Thanos Swaggins, promised him $200 if he placed top 10, and Phil got taken out at number 11, and then like shut down the stream immediately. Like low tier god, Wings of Redemption level, immediately killed the stream. And then the next day, Swaggins was back and said, oh, you shut off the stream too quick. I was going to give this to you. Friday, October the 12th. Before I get into the news, I want to apologize. With Phil streaming later and doing triple streams, the news is going to be a little bit longer. I'm trying to keep the memes out of it and just sticking to what actually happened. So I apologize if the last 2 days were incredibly long, but we've hit the weekend, so let's knock out Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Now we're going to start with Troll Cheers getting banned. Bit badges are not shields. Stop giving him money. This is from actually quoting the Bone Sauce. He's been extremely salty the last 2 hours. I guarantee something's up. He's just trying to find a way to hide it. He knows better from what happened with Leanna. He needs to keep up appearance and can't take the blow to his ego. He needs to make sure his fans know he didn't fail, that he lost his soulmate. He cannot let them know, and worse, he cannot let his detractors be right. Man, he's timing and banning people left and right. And as a reminder to the dipshits who troll cheer, Babyman Gaming, with a $50 bit badge, got timed. So you're not even getting immunity. Stop troll cheering. Legit, about half his cheers on Black Ops 4 have been troll cheers. I know I said it before. It needed to be repeated. Please stop troll cheering this guy. Difference between work and play. I think this was Surly Muppet. Phil is tired. He's regretting the second stream. He should have probably just relaxed and said, I guess if you sit on a couch downstairs instead of the one upstairs and sip gin instead of energy drinks, it's the difference between being a workaholic and living a well-balanced life. Bam, that's what I was looking for. So yeah, Phil, like, how do you relax from a day of playing video games? Like, you'd think, oh, video games is so tiring. I'm going to get up and go lay down somewhere else. I don't know. Phil versus the shills. It's interesting. This is from JMR. It's interesting how the streamers, not necessarily Phil, measure up viewer-wise in day and nights of big releases. I remember when Phil was number 50 for God of War's premiere earlier this year, and would move up to number 40, then number 30 as the playthrough continued. Tonight, he's in the 60 to 70 range. There's 375,000 people watching Black Ops 4, and to be among the top 30 streams, you need a minimum of 1,000 viewers. Biggest streamers are Shroud, Nick Merckx, and Dr. Disrespect. Oh, holy shit, I didn't realize Shroud was nearly doubling the doc. That's amazing. But, again, this just ties into, again, the dwindling viewership, where Big name releases are what Phil relies on. It's the hardcore gaming season, as he likes to call it, all these AAA titles, and he can barely pull 300 people now on his day streams. I think Clout God might be a troll. This was the guy who said he'd donate 1,000 for a win. Obviously didn't donate that because he said he'd give it as soon as Phil admits he was a pedophile and creeped on Panda. We don't need Phil to admit it. Panda has already said in her vlogs, which Tevin has on his channel, that she pointed out that Phil messaged her a shit ton before they started going out. That could be considered grooming if she was under 18 at the time. And he crafted this illusion that he was going to give her everything that she wanted as long as she moved in with him, even though she was half his age or whatever. He got fired up after that win. He won a game of Blackout, a $100 donation, 5,000 bit cheer, which is $50. It's absolutely pathetic how contingent his mood is on winning a match and getting donations. He was tired and looking like he was one lag match away from necking himself. And the next thing you know, we're at sponsor stream levels of manic and plotting out ideas for tomorrow's stream. And he's here because he's passionate about game, guys. And the worst part is, he'll never admit that there was any change, just like he refused to admit that there was any change in his conduct at any point yesterday. This is the guy who built computers and hosted LAN parties, from Eddie B. DSP's having issues with his 3000 Lemon no longer shutting down properly. My PC never shuts down anymore. Even when I tell it to, it just shuts off the monitors and stays running. The power button doesn't do anything. I have to pull the plug or flip the power switch on the power supply unit on the back to turn it off. Windows drivers crash, got to restart. OBS won't close. No, it's not hardware. It's stupid Windows. He's still running Windows 8. Can't keep up with the technology. You got to use Windows 10 for the new Elgato capture card. So that says to me, one, he's using an old capture card, and number two, he's using an old OS, so his drivers aren't going to stay up to date. So, and who knows about that 2013 laptop he's using. I like this last message that he says, yeah, I'm damn tired. Need to rest up for fun tomorrow. Yeah, you got to get that rest for the day of playing video games. And remember, Phil claimed that he built computers. He built arcade sticks or fight pads, whatever you call them, and he hosted LAN parties. And this is a guy who can't troubleshoot drivers, can't troubleshoot why his power button won't work. The power button is a fucking switch that connects to a jumper on the motherboard, and you send in a signal and everything turns on. That's it. Tevin versus Phil, round 2. This is from Nothing I Can Do. Tevin is restreaming Phil with 1,100 viewers, while Phil has having 350 watching, failing miserably at Call of Duty. Hey guys, no offense, but there's a stream going on here. Hadn't noticed. You're barely talking. I'm just hearing the sound effects of the games. I can chat about whatever I want. Just fucking amazing. He's also probably playing as Ajax because alphabetically he's the first specialist on the roster. I think Crash has a better kit. Just in my opinion. I mean, for like Team Deathmatch or anything like that. For most game modes, like Call of Duty is a game mode all about time to kill on the guns, right? How quickly does this gun on you, if all the bullets hit, do I take you from 150 health to 0? Because I think you start at 150 on Call of Duty. And Crash has this awesome power-up where he boosts everyone by 50 health. You're at 200 health. So now your time to kill is higher than the other guy's time to kill because strictly by you having more health. I don't know. The game's still new. I could be completely wrong on this. Maybe the flashbang grenade is just absolutely overpowered and Phil knows something that I don't. But he's never going to play the multiplayer, and I love the multiplayer, and I'm going to go back to it. This is some great valedictorian comment. Please tell me someone clipped Phil explaining the gravity of bugs. This was worth tracking down. Keep in mind, gravity doesn't have that much effect on them. That's what a lot of people don't realize. Oh, how can a bug fall from the ceiling down to the floor and be fine when it's land? It's so light that gravity doesn't have an effect on it. I think I saved this.
And I wouldn't be surprised if insects just kind of know, oh, I could go up there, you know? Keep in mind they weigh so little that gravity doesn't have as much of an effect on them. That's what a lot of people don't realize. Oh, how can a bug fall from the ceiling down to the floor, and it's fine when it lands because it's so light that gravity doesn't have that much of an effect on it. It doesn't feel a big pull on it like we do. As humans, we're much heavier. And
amazing that he understands gravity and physics so well. I roll. From Actually, K. Jones. Need a sub? No strings attached. Sub for free for anyone. No sub was gifted. Literally no one willing to take a free offered sub. At Darkside Phil from K. Jones. I just set up a PayPal account, tried to do $5, but card declined even though I have money on the card. I will figure it out. No tips tonight at all. Pretty impressive for a Friday night stream of a AAA game. Jeez. So it looks like that guy didn't even figure out what's going on with his card because he didn't send Phil even $5 for Call of Duty Black Ops. From Goutside Phil on Twitter. Here's a good quote.
DJ Bruno just truly said, now you live in Seattle for so many years. Have you been able to make friends with someone who can play video games with you? No, because I'm constantly working. I do not have any time.
I'm constantly working. I do not have time to find friends. This dude got Kat in the next room playing single-player Assassin's Creed, doesn't even mention her. He used to play a couple games with Leanna off-cam. Plants vs. Zombies coming to mind. How come he never plays with Kat? Where is Kat? Also from Goutside Phil. This was another great fucking clip.
Alright, well, at least the guy didn't say anything insulting. At least.
Someone in voice chat.
At least.
Yeah, it sucks.
Oh, here we go.
Hey,
What did he say?
you stupid child, get a job, dude. Your
Here we
content
go.
sucks. You can't even play the games correctly. You suck at video games. Get a
You
job,
can't even
dude.
play the games correctly. You suck at
Shout
games,
out to Almighty
man.
7 watching the stream too.
Oh my
Shout out to
God.
Almighty Tevin.
You know what it is? He must have been searching online. He must have been searching for me or something. Yeah, I don't think you can mute him till the match starts.
And he
right?
stream sniped
I'm
him.
pretty sure you can't.
According to
you
Phil,
can't
he
mute
stream
till the match
sniped him.
starts. So once the match starts, I'll mute his ass. Oh wait! Oh, it's too late to edit. Yeah, I can't edit. He sucks, man. This guy really sucks. He's a real jerk.
Look at
He's a
that.
bad
That's
player.
Phil's
He's
bants.
a bad player. Yeah.
Is making fun of how the guy talks.
I'm the one playing the game and making money doing it. You're the one playing a terrible game probably for the next year because it's the only game you fucking play because you're a fucking idiot.
And that was the quote I wanted to capture for you guys. I get paid to play shitty games. You're going to play this for another fucking year because you're a fucking idiot. And you paid for this terrible game. Not to mention, a lot of people have been enjoying the game, even though it's still pretty early on in its life. The zombies mode looks really strong. A lot of people have been saying that's very good. Blackout's a lot of fun. I've enjoyed it a lot. The multiplayer is really great. It's definitely changed for Modern Warfare 2, but it's really changed in a direction I really enjoy. Saturday, October 13th, we're going to talk a little bit about Phil's stats. His subs have been on the rise on YouTube, according to Actually, but his views are still dropping. He's at 900,000 over the last 30 days, according to Social Blade. That's the first time Phil's been under 1 million views in a month for a long time. He went up from 70K to now ranging between 15 to 30K. Losing his network and having his channel down does seem to have made a legit difference. Until now, he got more than enough from Twitch that it didn't really matter. Given the shill stream, this question about his YouTube viewers and his renewed pushing for tips, doing the whole, here's how you can tip me, let me explain in far too much detail, as well as renewed post-stream assessments of how interactive things were, seems he might be a little worried. Yeah, this post-stream assessment is he sits down at the end and he does a top 10 cheers on the stream. Patreon numbers from Not Really Putin. He's down to $658 a month. I don't know where he was last month. I'm too lazy to go look that up. And Soap Queen is no longer on the Kiwi farms for health reasons, so we don't even have them to back us up on it. Still owes a DSP tries it. I think he was hoping that they all forget. And then if you ask about it, you'll get manually banned. Asking for what the subs were promised is now trolling when you ask about a DSP tries it. More WWE bitching from Nothing I Can Do. He could not react in time and got signature moved and lost the match. Fuck this game. It's cheating. Yeah, it is. Please interact more so I can update the leaderboard pointing upward. I didn't have time to go find this actual clip. I want to get the clip of him pointing to his leaderboard and saying, please send me more money so I can update this. That's almost like him trying to do the bit wars, cheer wars between his viewers. Almost as bad. From Actually, pre-stream is usually his honeypot. The last few days he's been struggling to save for $100 he got on release night. He made like $3 yesterday in tips. That's really, really bad for Phil. To be clear though, he's been getting $150 to $200 in cheers and subs every day for the most part. So he's doing about average, but that's bad compared to the juiced up past couple of months. So he's back to his regular average, but Phil's going to say it's down because King Tut isn't there to keep him going. Not quite a person said, so he's on track, as always, easily be able to afford all his bills and living expenses. Actually kind of breaks down here and talks about what his break-even point is. And the last sentence just says, it's probably higher than $200 a day is what Phil's break-even point needs to be. $200 a day just to make enough to pay for both houses, food, water, electric, cell phone, etc., both internet lines. It's all detailed in here. Sunday, October 14th. Other WWE streamers are playing the game on hard. According to Lost My First account, the normal difficulty, which I assume is he's playing it on, you are correct, is the default, is pretty easy if this isn't your first WWE 2K game. It isn't Phil's first. All notable WWE streamers are playing on hard because they would stomp the AI otherwise. So Phil's playing it on default/easy mode and still losing. What did I nickname this post? Tut shows up for the 10 cheer countdown. There's Tutankhamun, where Phil does this fucking countdown of the top cheers of the week. Top 10 cheers of the week. This is in addition to his Twitch leaderboard, by the way. He really wants you to get some imaginary clout for being the person who gave him the most money. David Davidson screen capped King Tut in the chat. When is the next time Phil will be playing Fist of the North Star? Interesting comparison from Prince Loader. The homoerotic fan art at 225 with DSP and Potion has me dying. When did that show up? It's exactly like this.
Would you like that? I always envisioned how it would be.
Stewie and Rupert. Phil's fucking love with this fucking... Oh, that's Snort Burnell. You guys probably already saw the Snort Burnell. I didn't get what Phil was talking about here. Why he felt the need to talk about his Twitter impressions and talk about when you factor in years of abuse from sociopaths, mental illness calling the mentally ill, who actively attack people who interact with me positively on here. However, what really matters is how many people I reach with my tweets, which is very healthy. Once again, projection calling anyone a sociopath. Additionally, is that impressive total supposed to be breathtaking? I've blown that out of the fucking water, and I have 62 fewer Twitter followers from Spirit Avenged. This is the next week's schedule. So he's taking today, Monday, October 15th, off. Tuesday, WWE Black Ops, Fist of the North Star Dragon Quest. So you can probably skip Wednesday. That sounds really boring. Assassin's Creed and Black Ops. And then Friday, Soul Calibur 6. And no second stream on Sunday from Lipjan because he has bills to pay. Takes him all day to pay his bills. Does he like walk them over to the guy? Is that the guy? Anyways, that does it for the week in DSP, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I want to thank everyone again for the continued support this last week. My channel just grew. I got something like 60 subs in the last 7 days. That's amazing. I really appreciate it from everyone who likes, comments, and of course subscribes to the channel. And I hope you guys enjoyed this week. I don't know why my voice is doing something really weird. Hopefully I'm not about to get sick because that would suck really bad. And I will catch you in the next stream or video. Have a good night.